Pisces, 2022 is all about your spiritual path and your spiritual walk. This year is going to show you everything that you know, everything that you believe, and the lack thereof. It's going to be a time where you get in spiritual alignment in a way that only the universe can deliver. If you want to know more, keep watching and I'll explain all about it. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and as always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. And speaking of content, head over to Instagram and follow me over there at Divine Feminine Works. Every day, I've got a whole bunch of content on tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. All right, so head over there and follow me. All right, so I am so excited to be bringing you this video because this is the video of the year. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, this is the one you definitely want to watch. Actually, this series, because I'm going to be breaking it down by sign, okay? But this is the 2022 astrology forecast. One of my favorite phrases is when you know better, you do better. And if you know what's coming ahead in the coming year, rest assured you're going to be prepared and you're going to know exactly what to do. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, Pisces. So for you, 2022 is really about what you know on the one hand and what you believe on the other. This is going to be a year that may be particularly spiritual for you. And it's not something that's going to be too surprising or jarring because you guys tend to be a very spiritual sign. But this year is really going to highlight the things that you know and what you believe, sort of rapid fire style, because we've got all eclipses happening between those two themes. We also have the nodes shifting into those two signs, namely Taurus and Scorpio. So this year is really about what you know, what you can teach, learning new things, expanding your mind, and getting specialized in a particular skill. Okay, so let's take the year chronologically and see what's in store for you. So we start things off with Venus retrograde and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Both of these planets have been, well, Pluto has been in Capricorn for quite some time. Venus went retrograde in Capricorn at the end of 2021, but the bulk of it is going to be in January and into February. So we start things off reevaluating our relationships and our money. Capricorn is your 11th house, and the 11th house covers friendships, goals, and ambitions. So many of you may be reevaluating some friendships that you have, or even some groups that you belong to. Does your ideology still fit with the ideology of the group? Are your friends on the same page as you, or have things changed and now maybe it's time to go in a different direction? These are the sort of things that Venus retrograde is going to have you thinking about, and in a very deep and intense way, thanks to the presence of Pluto. This also may have to do with your goals and ambitions, particularly your money goals. What money goals do you have? What relationship goals do you have? The 11th house is the house where you wish upon a star. So the things that we really want in life are covered by this house. And when it comes to love and money, you guys are going to be thinking about those things in a very big and, again, intense way. The next thing that happens is in April, we have the first eclipse of the year, which is a solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is your third house, and the third house covers communication and ideas. This is the house of the things that you know. It's also the house of specialized skills and techniques. So solar eclipses are new moons on steroids. It provides super fertile ground in order to plant new seeds and set intentions. So if you're looking to learn a new skill, you're definitely going to want to start at the solar eclipse in April. If you're looking to learn new things, but on a very specialized and sort of specific level, you're going to want to do that at the solar eclipse. Third house also covers siblings, extended family members, short distance travel, and your immediate vicinity. So if you are doing a neighborhood project or a project in your community, you're going to want to start at the solar eclipse in April. Something new may be going on with your siblings, your extended family members at that time. Regardless, all of those things are going to experience a breath of fresh air at the solar eclipse. And again, that's in April. Following up in May, we've got a couple of things going on. The first is Jupiter in Aries. And this is important because Jupiter is the planet of good luck, good fortune, abundance, prosperity, expansion. And in Aries, it does all of those things in a very bold and dynamic way. It's great energy to start things with. It's like starting things with a bang. And for you, Pisces, you're going to like this. This is in your second house of money and material possessions. Expect money, basically. Money, 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 money. And assets also. If you want to start a new money-making endeavor, perhaps at this time you get a new job. Perhaps at this time, a new income stream. Maybe you get new assets. Whatever it is, it's going to be positive with respect to money. And that is going to happen between May and October, because between May and October is when Jupiter will be in Aries. So money is looking really good for a good bulk of the year. So you have that to look forward to. And then in May, we have the second eclipse, which is a lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. Lunar eclipses are like full moons on steroids. They either show you the culmination of something, like the completion of something in a big way, or they shed a light on things that have been hidden. So it shows you the realness of a particular situation. You know, it all depends on where it's happening in your chart. And for you, Pisces, this is in your 9th house of Scorpio. The 9th house covers what you believe. The 9th house is also a very spiritual house. It also covers long distance travel, higher education, legal situations. So for some of you, if you're involved in a legal situation, you're going to see that come to a close. Or you're going to see everything, even the ugly truth about what's going on in that particular situation. For others of you, it's going to shed a light on your spirituality in a way that shows you what's working and what's not. And sometimes during eclipses, particularly lunar eclipses, things get eclipsed out of your life. So let's say you're on this spiritual path and you had a guru or a shaman or a priest or something. And that time things may not be so good between you guys, or you may see things about that person that you don't necessarily like, that don't align with your ideals, and you sort of part ways. Either way, the lunar eclipse in May is going to shed a huge light on your spirituality and your spiritual walk. So prepare for that. It also may be an emotional time because lunar eclipses can be very emotional. Again, they're full moons on steroids. So whatever comes up, know that things are just being rearranged. Try not to get too unnerved or too in your feelings, because this too shall pass. All right. The next important time frame in 2022 is going to be between October and November. The first thing that's happening is Saturn square Uranus, and this is like the aspect of the year. We've been dealing with this aspect all throughout 2021, and we're going to be dealing with it all throughout 2022, but it's going to be its strongest between October and November. And long story short, Saturn square Uranus is all about boundaries and restrictions and responsibilities on the one hand, and freedom on the other. Now for you, Pisces, this is going down between your 12th house and your 3rd house. So there may be sort of spiritual practices or spiritual ideology that you are very much tied to, that you're obligated to, that you have responsibilities to. And that's going to be sort of in conflict with some new ideas or new skills or a new mindset that you have. There's going to be this energy of being tied down to sort of an old story and rebelling into a new story and a new narrative. And those things are going to be in direct conflict. It's going to cause for tension, particularly within yourself. It also may cause tension with your neighbors, with community members, particularly if you're part of a spiritual community. It may sort of rub them the wrong way. It also may be in conflict with your family, like your siblings, your extended family members. How they think may be different than how you think. All right. And so the best way to handle this is compromise, or at least try to temper that energy of, you know, old story, new story, and sort of mix them together. You don't necessarily have to live in extremes, you know, compromise and tempering are going to be the key to making it through this aspect. Next up in October, we have Jupiter retrograde into Pisces. So remember I said between May and October, money's looking great for you because that's when Jupiter is in Aries. So from October until December, Jupiter is going to go back into Pisces, into your first house. And so at that time, this is going to be a time of great, thinking, because the first house covers your thoughts. It covers your outlook, your attitude, everything having to do with your person, including your physical body, are covered by the first house. So Jupiter is going to rain blessings on you, although in a small way, since Jupiter is going to be retrograde. It's going to rain blessings on you and your person. But I always tell people, Jupiter transits in your first house lead to excessive weight gain or just expansion of your body. So you're going to want to be very mindful of that. Jupiter is going to be retrograde, so you may lose weight at that time, but just keep in mind what's going on with your body, because Jupiter is definitely going to change it one way or the other. All right. The next thing we have in October is a solar eclipse in Scorpio, and this is going down in your 9th house. So we had a lunar eclipse in Scorpio back in May, and at that time, that's when you saw your spiritual path for what it really was, okay? And you were able to either eradicate things from that, or the universe did it for you. Now at the solar eclipse in your 9th house in October, now you can implement new things, plant new seeds along your spiritual path, seeds that are more in alignment with where you're trying to go. And again, if you don't do it, the universe is going to do it for you, because that is the nature of eclipses. The last thing that's going down in October is Mars retrograde in Gemini. This is important because Mars is the planet of action, bold and dynamic action to be specific. But when Mars is retrograde, you don't feel like doing shit. You don't feel like moving your body. You feel very unmotivated. You're not driven. You're sort of lethargic. You may even feel an energy drain when Mars is retrograde. And Mars is going to be retrograde between October and January of 2023. So it's safe to say that by the end of the year, everyone's going to be sort of low energy at that time. And for you, this is going down in your 4th house of home and domestic affairs. So at that time, you're not going to want to do any home improvement projects. If things were in motion with respect to your home, like your physical home, they may be stagnant. There may be, stall when it comes to these things, particularly if, maybe you wanted to change residences or you wanted to purchase property. When Mars goes retrograde in Gemini, that's going to be like sort of at a standstill. Things with family, are sort of going to come up to the surface as well. The good thing is Mars retrograde, that means less conflict, less competition. So if you've had a lot of that going on in your family, when Mars is retrograde, that will sort of subside for a little bit. Okay. The last thing that's going down in 2022 is the final eclipse of the year, and that's a lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus, and this is your 3rd house. So your 3rd house was lit up at the solar eclipse back in April, and at that time, that was the time when you wanted to learn new skills, set new intentions, get involved in community activities or in your immediate vicinity. Now at the lunar eclipse, you're going to see just how far you've come. And you're going to see the truth of the situation. Maybe you've put in a lot of strides to learn a new skill, and now you're proficient in this skill. Maybe the neighborhood project that you started has completed, or it's well on its way to being completed. For others of you, the lunar eclipse in Taurus in November is going to show you what's not working with siblings, with extended family members, in your neighborhood. It's going to shine a spotlight on those areas in your life, for better or for worse. But with that information, you'll know what to do. I love to say, when you know better, you do better. And that's exactly how you're going to end the year when it comes to your 3rd house matters. All right, Pisces. So to recap, this year is all about learning. It's all about knowing, believing, and teaching, because you have that emphasis on your 3rd house of Taurus and your 9th house of Scorpio. It's also going to be a spiritual year, because knowing and believing is all about the essence of spirituality. So your spirituality is going to come into focus this year, which I'm sure is not going to bother you, because again, you guys are a very spiritual sign, but it's going to get you on the right course. and in alignment with your true spiritual beliefs. All right, my loves, that has been the astro forecast for 2022. I sincerely hope that you were able to glean some information that may be helpful to you in the coming year. As always, it is my pleasure and a privilege to be bringing this information to you. I wish you nothing but the best. I mean, the absolute best for 2022. This is going to be a year to remember, and I sincerely hope that it brings you everything that your heart truly desires. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next year. Take care.